That's an interesting question, and it is something that we spend some time on in our management and owners group, discussing this very thing and where what we think is going on and where we think it'll go. Um, Now, I'm not a prophet. I'm just going to kind of throw out what I kind of think is happening and what I kind of where I kind of see it going. I think the industry over the last few years has already been uh, going through some significant changes. There's more consolidation. There's smaller and smaller small shops. The small shops are struggling for various reasons. The OSHA silica stuff is part of some of that. You know, there if OSHA gets involved in a small shop that can't get silica compliant, uh, those guys kind of tend to go away. Some of them reopen, and we're never going to get rid of all the small shops, and nor do I think that necessarily be a good thing. But I think you're going to see more and more consolidation, where fewer and fewer shops are doing more and more of the work, which you already see, right? That's already out there, but I think it's going to increase. Um, I think that in the next 5 years, you're going to see a significant improvement in automation. Now, automation is a word that we kind of throw around a lot, um, with varying degrees of meaning. Uh, what when I talk about automation, I to me means basically hands-free, start to finish. All of your inventory is moved by machine. All of the saws are loaded and unloaded. Your CNCs are loaded and unloaded. Your inline polishers, whatever machines are being done that way, are basically doing all of the work. And I think that's where it's going to go. There's some shops that are dabbling with that, and doing it, and there's some the equipment manufacturers that are doing it with varying degrees of success, and all of that. But I think that's going to come on strong in the next 5 years, and regionally, the shops that kind of get there first and figure that out are probably going to become behemoths in that area that are going to be hard to compete with. Um, that's where I think it's going. I think you're going to see more consolidation within the big companies right now. You know, I think you're going to see national players come in and start buying up shops and becoming national players instead of everything being kind of local. There is some of that going on, but I think you're going to see more and more of that as the stone industry has matured, and gotten better at business. Quite frankly, so many shops 20 years ago, they didn't know their numbers from the slurry in their pit. You know, they didn't know anything, and they were just doing everything by feel. If the bank account had money, they had money. They didn't know whether they were losing or making, and they didn't know where they were losing or making it at. And so but the stone world has gotten so much better uh, in the last 20 years, and in particularly kind of these last 10, 5 and 10 has really gotten much better with groups like Rockheads and the Artisans and some of those that are pushing best practices, and being able to compare, and businessmen running stone world and or stone shops instead of stone guys running stone shops has made a big improvement there. And I'm not knocking the stone guy that's running his own business. Don't get me wrong. I think that guy's working his guts out, and he's doing, some of them are doing phenomenal work. But I think you'll see more and more consolidation out of that model and more into a true business model from a traditional standpoint is where I think it'll go.